Hi guys, Ray23179 here, and today I'm going to be doing a mod review on Ray's Minimap mod for Minecraft 1.4.7. Few things I want to say before I actually get started. I think I might be, I'm probably not, but I'm not sure, pronouncing Ray's wrong, R-E-I apostrophe S. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but that is the name of the creator of this mod, but, yeah, so, sorry if I didn't pronounce that right, but basically, what this mod does is it adds, as you can see in the top right corner of my screen, a little mini-map you see in some games into Minecraft. It's pretty useful for finding things, and the map has great quality. Now, if we look over to the map and we look under it a little bit, we'll see some text, which is our coordinates actually, and then below that we have our menu key, which is M. It defaults to M. So if we push this M key, we'll get all these selections. The ones with the arrows actually lead into another, a whole other folder of selections. But I'm actually going to go over only this one, the first one, Minimap Options, because the rest is pretty obvious, and it would take forever for me to do all that, and they're pretty easy to figure out anyways. So, first thing is the Raise Minimap enabled, and if we click it, it'll change it disabled. Obviously, you know what that does. It makes it appear or disappear. You know, we're going to keep it enabled so you can see how everything else changes the map. Our render type, there are three. First type is surface, which is how it is right now. If I click it again, I can change it to biome. Now it looks like a map, like borders on a map. But these are basically the borders of a biome. So hold on, let me turn something on real quick. Alright, I'm going to try and direct you to a certain point that I want you to see. In the top left corner it says Minecraft 1.4.7. In the row below that it says C. Row below that is E. Row below that is P. Row below that is multiplayer chunk. And then below that, in the next paragraph, we have X, then Y, then Z, then F, then LC. LC is the part I want you to look at. It gives you a number 79. It may differ between people. And then we have a little B, and that stands for biome. Right now I'm in the beach biome. Now I'm gonna go and look at the mini map, and as you can see, I'm about to cross over into this biome. So I want you to direct your attention to that point I had you find before. Give you a little time to find it again. Alright, so when I cross over, just keep your eyes on that. Bam, it changes to forest. So that is the exact border of the biome. It can tell you which biome it is. And as you can see on the mini map, in front of me is a dark blue looking kind of biome. And that's actually the ocean biome. And then the light blue one over here is actually a river biome. I don't know why there's a river biome in the middle of the ocean, but there is. So that's just how it is. Alright, so next thing we're going to go over is the cave render type. And basically what this does is it makes it kind of like a night vision kind of look with the green and stuff. I'm going to make my way over to this darker point here, and it actually is a ravine. So down in the ravine, as you can see, the map gets super green, which tells you that you're underground, obviously. This is like for detecting caves below you or around you. Now, there's a cave that I found before I actually started recording this. Alright, here it is. This cave, and as you can see, there's green right in front of us, and then when we go in, now we're on the green. So that means we're inside the cave. As we make our way back over to here, I'm just gonna switch it back to surface type just to make it easier for everyone to see changes on the map. So switch back to surface. So there's three types: surface, biome, and cave. They're all very useful. I find surface the one that I like to keep on most of the time, but you may have different opinions. Anyway, next we have our death point. It is disabled currently, but that's the default. I like to keep it enabled just because of this. So if I do /kill, I'll kill myself. And if I respawn, as you can see, no matter how far away... Whoa, what's up with my skin? What's up with my skin? Oh, it's probably just lagging. Whatever. Anyway, so over there, there's a little X, and it's marked death point, and it tells you how far away you are from it. So it appears to be 504.34 meters. So yeah, that's pretty far away. So I'm just gonna skip to when I get over there. Oh, look, my skin's back. I knew it was just lag. Anyway, guys, time to skip. Alright, guys, I am back, and I am back on our little beach. And as you can see, there's an X, and it's marked with death point in red print. And now we're only 4.24 meters away. If we get closer, we're pretty much like right next to it. So, this just marks where you died, in case you want to find your stuff after dying from a mob or something. That's very useful. But let's say we don't want it there. I'll show you how to get rid of it later. It actually marks it as a waypoint. And I'll tell you more about waypoints later. But for now, we're just going to turn away from it and pretend it's not there. Alright, then we have minimap options. We're going to click here, and it takes us to this whole other spot that I was telling you about. We're going to go over pretty much all this. I'm sorry, but I don't know what some of these do. But it probably doesn't change much stuff that could be useful to you or anything like that. But anyway, we have the map shape is square or round. If you change it to round, you don't get the little red arrow that tells you where you are. It's just where the crosshairs of the map meet that tells you where you are. And then but the cool thing about the round type is north, west, east, and south. So it tells you that I'm facing exactly north. If you line up with these blocks here, you can tell that you're facing exactly north on the world. And this is good for tell where the sun is going to set, for telling time. So since we know that this is the west and the sun sets in the west, that means we only have that much space until the sun goes down. So it's a pretty cool tool that you can use to change the shape and type of the map, but I like to keep it on square. I don't know, I just prefer it. Texture is Ray's Minimap or Zan Minimap. Zan just changes it to like an ancient map kind of thing. It just changes the crosshairs, the outside of the map, and the arrow. I actually haven't seen what it would look like if it was round. Yeah, round just makes it look like a compass, and you have up here like a little button kind of thing. I have no idea actually. But I'm changing it back to Ray's Minimap. Map position is upper right, upper left, or lower left. Default is upper right, which is where I like to keep it. Map scale is defaulted to auto, but you have small, normal, large, larger, GUI, and auto. Just like if you think it's taking up too much space up there or taking up too little space, you can't see it well, something like that. And then map opacity default is 100%. This just changes how it's see-through or how transparent, how opaque the map is. They have 100, 25, 50, and 75. 100 default, which is where I like to keep it. Large map scale, this only changes anything if you have the map on large up here. But all of those do the same thing. Opacity, scale, and all that stuff. Filtering, enabled or disabled, I don't know what that does, but the default is enabled, so I'd keep it that way if I was you. Show coordinates, type 2, disabled, or type 1. Type 2 is the default, which is where I like to keep it, but if you don't, you can disable them. Then all you have is the menu key, which you can also disable that too, but I'll show you that later. You could disable the coordinates if you don't like them being there, or you can get type 1, which is a simple set of coordinates, just numbers to tell you where you are, basically. Or, you can change the coordinates to type 2, and it actually gives you decimal point coordinates, so this is a more exact point. So yeah, that is the coordinates right here. Alright, show menu key, enabled or disabled. This basically all it does is look here and gone. Back, gone. So if you want it there or not, I don't like it there because it's kind of distracting from the coordinates and stuff like that. But the default is enabled, but I'm just going to turn it off for the rest of the video. Font scale, auto, small, normal, large, GUI, or auto. This basically just changes the size of this text here. I like to keep it on auto because it's like fit to the map's scale. But if you have the map scale set to large, you can change the font scale to large. Default zoom times 1 times 1.5 times 2 times 4 times 8 and times 0.5. This just changes what your map's zoom level is on when you enter the game. So if you don't like it on this, and you don't have to change it every time you come into the game, you can change the default zoom. Map mask type, I have no idea what this does, but the default is depth, and then you have stencil. I'd keep it on depth. Update frequency, middle, high, very low, low, middle. This just changes how frequent the map up here updates itself. Middle is actually pretty good. no lag on the map basically. But if you have a computer that doesn't run very well or has not that much memory, you might want to change it down to very low or just low. But if you have one that runs very fast for absolutely zero lag, you can turn it up to very high. But for computers that aren't very good, very high would be pushing the lag up on the minimap, and it wouldn't be showing you right stuff fast enough or whatever. Then we have threading. I don't know what this is. I've heard the term before, but I don't know what it is. So disabled or enabled. Disabled is the default. Thread priority low, middle, high, very low. Whatever the heck threading is, this just changes how important threading is if it's enabled. Preloaded chunks. I don't know what that does either. Disabled or enabled. I call it disabled. I think this makes it so that the map loads itself before you spawn in. If it's enabled, it will load the map before you spawn in, but if it's disabled, like, you know how if you spawn into a new world, you have to wait for all the terrain to generate and spawn onto your screen? Well, it's kind of like that. All the terrain has to generate and spawn onto the map. So if you enable it, it'll take you, if you enable it, it will take, a bit longer to load the world because it has to load this at the same time. But if you disable it, it's faster and all that stuff. So I think you guys get what I mean. Then I'm going to skip all these folders because they're pretty easy to understand. About Minimap, it just tells you stuff about it. And markers, and then, you know, all this stuff. Then we have Update Check, which is, if you click it, it checks for an update of the mod version. Up here it says Raise Minimap version 3.2. Version 3.2_06. It might be something different for you guys. And then 1.4.6. If you check for an update, it'll go to checking, and then if it doesn't find one, which it normally doesn't, it'll just say not found. So, and if you don't want to have to click it and worry about not catching an update, you can turn auto update check on. Once you change it from disabled to enabled, it automatically tries to check. But this way, it alerts you when there's an update by, I think, it does something over here, I think. It puts up text or something like that. I'm not sure. And this one will also say found when you enter it. Next, we have the waypoints and key config. I'm going to go from key config first because I wanted to save waypoints for last. So, basically, all these things that say none, we don't have to worry about those right now. The ones that we can worry about are the ones like here, M, Z, X, and C. So let's push all those buttons. M obviously just does this. C, what it does is it opens up a create waypoint window, which I'll show you what waypoints are later. Z actually changes the zoom level on your map. It zooms in, and the max zoom is 8 times 8. Oh, hold on. Here goes the music. There. Okay. Anyway, but when you zoom, it doesn't change the quality of the map, so it'll be very blurry on maximum zoom. So I recommend that you do keep it on the default, which makes it look very high quality. If anything, you just zoom in once, not all the way up to here, because then it's almost hard to see anything in detail. Next we have the X key, which just puts the map bigger and in the middle of your screen, so you can see farther out. And oh, hey, look, on the top center of the screen, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's like a slight orange part up there. It looks like lava, but anyway. So yeah, this just lets you see a wider range of the map. This also works with the other types, and it also puts the coordinates right in the middle of the map. So you just push X to get it back and X to put it in the middle of the screen. So those are those keys. Also, you can change them. So if you want to change the minimap, let's say you don't want this to be M. Let's say you want it to be B, per se. You click the M, and it's just like changing your control. Click B, and it will change. If you just push escape or push E, then it will actually not save the minimap. So now if we try to push B, nothing will happen. But if we push M, it stays at M. You actually have to click it, push B, and then click OK. And then it will tell you that it saved the key config. If you go to the key config, it will show you which ones aren't default by putting them in a different color than the ones that are. If you click default, it puts everything back to default. So let's say we screw it up and we put a bunch of stuff on here. Then we want it back to normal, just click default, and I'll go back to normal. Next thing are the waypoints. So if I click waypoint, it'll show me all the waypoints I have. The only one I have right now on this map is hold on. Didn't push OK. Alright, anyway. So the only one I have is the death point that I died on. It shows the color here. It shows whether it's on or off here. You can click it to turn it off if it's annoying, or turn it back on. If you hover over the name, it will give you the exact coordinates of the death point or the waypoint that is set. It doesn't have to be your death point. But let's say you build your house right here on this beach, and you don't want to lose it, but you want to go out really far away. Well, what you could do is you can click Add, and then it will take you to the waypoint creator. You can also do C, or whatever you changed it to, and you get the waypoint creator. So let's type in house, and that'll be the name. Automatically puts in the coordinates. And this is the color changer, so we can change the color of it. Let's say we want it to be blue. Okay, so now it's blue, and we push OK, and there it is, our house. It's not in red print. I wish you could change the color of the print, but you can't. Only death points will be in red, and everything else that is made by you will be in white. So that's how it is. And it also tells you how far you are away from it and stuff, so it's almost exactly the same as the death point. And also, let's say you don't want that death point there. It's really ticking you off. So what you can do is you can either turn it off, but if you want to delete it and your thing is getting full and you want to delete some, you click the remove button. Now, we have the same thing, but these change from on and off to keep and X. So let's say we want to keep our house, but we want to delete our death point. So we just click death point, it will change to an X. Then we click all the other ones that we don't want to keep to X's, and all the ones we do want to keep on keep. And then once we've done that, we click remove. Every one that I had marked as an X will be removed. So there goes our death point. You can't even like turn it back on or anything. So yeah, that is basically what you have, and it even shows our house right here. So yeah, that is basically everything this mod does. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And before I go, I have one thing to say. If you guys want me to do an installation tutorial on this mod, go ahead and leave a comment below, and I will make a video for you. But if I do get any comments saying that I should make an installation tutorial, an annotation link will be available on screen in the top right corner right now. If you don't see a link, I haven't made the video yet because no one's commented. I mean, like, what's the point in making a video if no one is going to gain anything from it? Because most of you people already know how to install it, but some don't. So if you don't, just leave a comment and I'll make the video for you. It's no problem. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment, and all that stuff. And yes, that's going to be it for this video. So I will see you later.